Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Heal Circle podcast. As you know, we are all about helping you build your heal circle for your healthiest self possible. And one of our challenges that we all face is that of mental health. Today, joining me to address this very important topic is Swamiji from Amma's ashram. Namaste, Swamiji.
Namaste.
Welcome. We're so excited to
Thank you.
have you.
Thank you so much.
When crisis hits, we must open our minds and open our hearts and look at other options, look at other solutions. And what I'm seeing more and more of is that spirituality is being considered as an option for those that are struggling with mental health conditions, whether it's anxiety for a school test, whether it's the stress of a multi-billion-dollar deal. People are looking more and more towards potentially options like this. Tell us a little bit about how can spirituality help with mental health?
Yeah. Um, Thank you so much, first of all, for the opportunity to speak. And so it's very nice to address about this. As you aptly and correctly said that spirituality is one of the most important things for mental health because spirituality deals with the mind and of course with the body also. So many people are not aware. First of all, they are not aware that about their mind, first of all. And so if I say, like, do you know where your mind is? And do you mind that question? Yeah. If you do you mind if I ask that question? So spirituality is the one that throws light at all these things. And most of us, as I said, is not aware that there is a connection between the body and the mind. And whenever the body is stressed out, the mind is also stressed out, and vice versa. So there is an intricate connection which most people don't realize. And people think that it is very easy to deal with, but it's not. Because the mind, if we like, Amma always says this, that if we ask our hand to go up, my hand will go up. Yeah, I ask my hand, go up, and it will go up. But if you ask your mind to stop, will it stop? You'll just keep on going. So mind is a flow of thoughts. And it's like a river which flows with so much force that you cannot stop it. And there are necessary thoughts, unnecessary thoughts. And so what happens is as these thoughts arise in our mind, we identify with these thoughts and we become one with these thoughts. And as a result of the identification, we either experience happiness or sorrow. And what happens is if I have a thought, and a thought by itself is not dangerous because the thought is arising without our awareness, and it's also not within our control. I cannot select which thought I should come, or which thought should come into my mind, but it just comes automatically. So there is a problem because that's also, as it arises, we become identified with it. And then the other problem is also as the thoughts keep repeating, it becomes more and more forceful. And then we have to act upon these thoughts. For example, when you wake up in the morning, for many people, there are exceptions, but I'm not saying, but just for a common person, when you wake up in the morning, you're tired, the first thought that comes is, oh, I'm so tired, I want a cup of coffee. And then the body says, no, 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 don't get up, you just go back to sleep. But the mind keeps struggling, saying that, no, 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 you have to get a cup of coffee. Give me coffee, give me coffee. And then finally, you have to get up yours and fix a cup of coffee and then go back to sleep. So that's how the mind works. So we have to understand, if we understand that this is the way that how the mind works, then it's very easy for us to basically become aware of the thoughts. And that's what spirituality does. Spirituality makes you aware of the thoughts that arise in your mind and identify them and filter them.
I liked your example of coffee.
Yes.
Not as triggering as alcohol, because if we start talking about alcohol, everybody will hang up. So I want people to watch. So we're going to talk about coffee. Coffee is a less triggering topic. But as you know, we have a massive challenge of addiction. And
Correct.
we're not just talking addiction of alcohol, there's addiction of social media, there is addiction to violence, there's ad so many addictions. And a lot of the suffering comes from that. Whether it's the thought of a youth that I'm going to fail this exam and suffering coming from that. And we're seeing suicides in teens from small things, nothing significant. But for them, it is a question of life and death. And then it ends up becoming something where we lose a beautiful young child because their mind took over. We've seen this with adults. We've obviously seen this with the wars. How can spirituality help people listening to this podcast? And I'll use a simple example to give up coffee.
Yeah, as I said, one of the things is that spirituality recommends is meditation. And meditation is nothing but understanding, becoming aware of these things of our mind, and how the mind reacts to things and how the mind is also acting in certain situations. And as I said, basically the man is made up of three things. One is uh, the mind, the body, and the intellect. These are the three things that which we deal with in everyday life.
Swamiji, what
And
about the soul? Where does the soul or the spark of God or the light of God, where does that fit in?
that we are yet to experience that in many cases, right? We Many people don't know about it. So only when the mind quietens,
Mhm,
then we can understand what is the soul. When you become calm, when you become silent, when
mhm.
the thoughts subside, then you realize that there is something beyond this.
Because
And
I think it's so important to give people a little taste of why make your mind stop. I've experienced bliss, that Sat Chit Anand, where when everything stops, the sense of bliss is it's I can't describe it. It is unbelievable joy, happiness, love. It's just as if love is just outpouring from you for everybody on this planet. That experience, I feel like needs to be marketed better. I feel like all the spiritual traditions don't talk enough and don't market enough of the fact that calming the mind isn't just so you can deal better with your day to day, but it's the fact that there is something so incredible and remarkable that's waiting for you that it's worth taking this journey of not just getting rid of some anxiety for something that you're facing to day, but really, to your point, stepping back and saying, what am I doing? What is my life? So I'm so sorry I interrupted you, but I always feel like we've got to talk more about Satchit Anand. We have to talk more about the bliss body and what awaits people at the end of this journey. But please continue. So how can someone struggling with anxiety and having coffee in the morning, what can they do? So you said understanding that our body, we are made up of body, mind, and intellect. Please continue.
yeah, and what happens is, as I said, if we become aware, first of all, because the mind is the one that is controlling the body, And the mind consists of the intellect also. So it's a part of that, the mind, intellect. And the intellect is the one we can say that decides this. Sometimes, somebody says, no, don't do it, or says, yes, do it. So that is the intellect part of it. So I'm talking about this because of the mind-body connection.
Mm,
That's the whole thing. So when spirituality means it's dealing with not only the body but also the mind. So without uh, considering the mind into the equation, just the body will not be able to heal your body or come out of addictions, come out of all these things. So when we promise something through, as you said, Satchidananda, bliss, right? Through by spirituality, or where we are giving spiritual experience as one of the examples. And you talked about Satchidananda. I just wanted to say one thing. We experience this every day. You know when? When we are in the state of deep sleep.
mm,
In the state of deep sleep, there is no mind. And so what happens at that time? We are so blissful. And, we have been sleeping for so many years. Have you heard anybody saying that I'm so bored by sleeping for so much time? So that state when in which the mind is absent is what is giving the bliss. So the same bliss is obtained by doing spiritual practices, but the only difference is you are aware of it, and whereas in deep sleep state you are not aware. So
mm,
that is the difference. So coming back to the point, what I'm just giving you an example. Coming back to the point of coffee. Coffee. First of all, uh, I would like to say, because everybody is in search of this bliss. So that's why they get addicted and they are searching for this. And they are searching through coffee, they are searching through alcohol, they are searching through relationships, they are searching through so many things. And they think that if I get a new iPhone, if I buy a new car, I'm going to be happy, I'm going to be blissful. So just think about this. You bought a new car, and a moment later, it has become old. And if you want to test it, you just drive back to the dealer and say, I want to return it. He will say, I'm going to deduct $25,000, the same new car. So in life, that is what is happening. And we don't know. This is through drugs, through alcohol, and all these things. We are in that search.
mm,
So where we have to understand is these are the things that are not going to give us any bliss, but in fact they are going to harm our body and harm our mind. So for example, this you talked about depression, correct,
mm,
and suicidal tendencies. Many people whom I have talked to have told me that they cannot control those thoughts coming into their mind, and it keeps coming up. And as I said earlier, when it comes up, it becomes more and more forceful until the point they want to do something about it or commit suicide. So this is where, as I said, the spiritual counseling comes. And we have to think about these things that, okay, number one, people have to think, what do I gain by drinking a cup of coffee? Or what do I gain by taking drugs? What do I gain by drinking alcohol? So if you try to understand the end result of this, I mean, of course, there will be some, uh, bliss, because it is the absence of sorrow. That's what is you are enjoying right now.
mhm,
All these drugs, the alcohol, including coffee, is giving you an absence because the mind is dulled. So when the mind stops working, that is when the real bliss comes from. And that is what is we are just getting for a few minutes or even few seconds.
Right,
And that's why people are addicted to it.
right, right.
So, yeah, go
You
ahead.
share some tactics, some tips. What can people watching do now? I know you mentioned meditation, but could you be a little more in terms of actual how to meditate or what to meditate? I want to give homage, of course, and to Amma. Amma, there's a beautiful picture of Amma behind you.
Mhm.
And Amma is known as the hugging saint. She is truly the mother to those who meet her. I think the bliss that she provides to those who come in contact with her is incredible. For me, I just want to share that I started using her rose and sandalwood perfume, her roll-on, almost 10 years ago. I had stopped wearing anything that was artificial. I was looking for something natural and pure. And I was Googling and it came up with a Muzz Rose. I ordered it, fell in love with it, and never went to a commercial bottled perfume since then. And I feel like to such a large extent, Amma's consciousness of love, of bliss, of motherly nurturing is available to those who are looking for it. What tips can you give those who are listening who may or may not be aware of Amma to connect with that bliss through meditation?
Um, talking about Amma, uh, I mean, watching Amma, uh, getting a hug from Amma, and sitting near Amma itself is a great meditation. People just get mesmerized, and I've seen people sitting there near Amma and for hours together, forgetting their body, that they have not eaten, they have not had any drinks like coffee or tea or anything, not even water. And sitting there, and suddenly, after Amma gets up and leaves, then suddenly they realize, oh my God, I've been sitting here for 7 hours and I have not had food or anything, any water. And they run to the nearest Starbucks to get a. So, um, that's because, the Amma is a realized saint. And when you become realized, there is you become the source of the bliss itself.
Yes,
So the love that she emanates is because of her oneness with everything, everybody in this world. And
yes,
that is what is realization. The realization that you and I are not separate
yes.
and we're just one and the same. And so Amma says, when we realize that, love spontaneously occurs.
Yes.
Because, like Amma says, the example of when the left hand is paining, the right hand will run to the left hand and start rubbing it.
Mm,
So when you see the pain of another person, you will naturally have the tendency to comfort them.
yes.
So one tip I will give you, I'll tell everybody, uh, you know, when you are feeling so bad and when you're feeling so down, don't sit there. Get up and help somebody.
Mm,
That is the first step to meditation. Because if you just keep sitting there and brooding and thinking that I'm not good, or I have so much of thoughts, bad thoughts, I'm a bad person, nothing is going to move. So you start, get up and do something, try to help somebody. And the whole day will change the moment you try to help somebody. That's also meditation. And if you just go and give some food like you are doing, feed hungry people, or just smile at somebody, or ask somebody like, how are you doing? Why are you sad? Just give an ear which is loving and which listens to their problems. That itself will change your life so much. And as I said, the problem is also that we feel stuck. many of these people feel stuck that I'm in this
Right.
spot. I cannot get up and move. So
Yes.
spirituality gives that force to get up and start walking and doing something.
Beautiful. At this point, I will pitch both Amma's organization in San Ramon. Please check out Amma's organization in San Ramon. It's such a beautiful space. They have events, they have an Amma's shop. And if you're listening to this before February 22nd, Amma's space will be there at Heal Fest, which we're so excited about. In addition to that, I will pitch freemeals.org as well. 100% volunteer run. We feed families in need. You will be amazed to find out and stressed to find out how many people are struggling because of a variety of reasons where the free resources that quote unquote are available to them are just not enough or they're not delivering what they're promising. So we step in, we make sure no one sleeps hungry at night. A lot of children, a lot of youth, a lot of very, very elderly that are sick. So volunteer. Swamiji is absolutely right. To get out of that loop of self-pity, it's a loop, it's a frequency. To get out of that, step out and just help someone. And it doesn't have to be big organizations. You can just go to a grocery store and pay for someone in front of you. It's called paying it forward. Like do something and it'll change your day for sure. Swamiji, any other tips that you have for those that are listening in terms of meditation or spirituality?
Yes, in terms of spiritual practices, even if we just sit in the morning, why I'm saying in the morning, because as we progress during the day becomes more and more busy with so many other things. And finally, by the time we realize that we have some time, you will be so tired that, without even meditation, you will be sleeping. So that's what you do is when you get up in the morning, uh, just sit for 10 minutes. And a simple step is observing your breath
Mm,
and start observing your breath. As simple as that. And breathe normally, but just observe your breath. And as you see, then you will also become aware of your mind and the thoughts in your mind. And so, in order to, that is the first step.
mm,
But in order to control the thoughts, of course, you have to have the further steps like you have to get a mantra or you have to get a meditation technique, something like that. So, Amma has a technique called I am, uh, that is the integrated Amrita meditation technique, which composes of yoga and yoga poses, breathe, and then also the visualization. These three parts are there. So that's for the mind, body, and controlling how to control the mind. So these three things are there. And I don't know whether you are having also yoga, right? For
mhm.
the
Absolutely.
yes.
We have a whole studio full of sessions starting at 10 in the morning. Yes, we have yoga, we have breath work, we have Falun Dafa.
So all these things are very essential because
Mhm.
that is how you can come to the end, which is to control the mind.
Yes.
So you need first, because as I said, the mind is very subtle, you cannot control it. So you start controlling it through the body. So that is how yoga begins.
Mm.
When you do yoga, you feel good, and then the next step is breath, and when you do the breath, then you become aware of the mind, and then you understand the nuances of the mind, how your thoughts are, what your thoughts are, and finally, once you understand and once you start doing the spiritual practices, you will be able to control your mind completely. And if I tell my mind, no, I don't want to drink coffee in the morning, I'll drink coffee later. Or that is also a very simple technique, like I just postpone it a little bit.
Yeah.
As I said, the example of the coffee, when I'm getting up, I'm feeling tired, I want to drink coffee, wait, take a cup of hot water and drink it, and then wait for a minute and say, I'm not going to have it immediately. The mind is asking for it. So tell the mind, keep quiet
Yeah.
and do something else. Distract your mind. The same thing is applies for people who are depressed, people who wants to commit suicide. Think about the what is the result of doing that action. Most of the people don't realize this. They just jump into action. So without thinking the end result. And what we have to do is just postpone
Mm.
that action.
Mm.
Don't do it immediately because the mind is telling you to do it. Wait, wait and distract your mind. Keep doing something else, whatever it is, physical or mental, and postpone those thoughts and don't allow those thoughts to overpower you.
I think the most important part is the fact that you are not the mind. And so there is another part to you that must stop the mind, you know. For people that are living in the mind, they say, well, the mind said have coffee, so I had coffee. What do you mean tell the mind no? That part of them is underdeveloped. The
Mhm.
part of them that is actually running the life, right? So I have gone through this whole journey of who is running this being that is called Reena? Who's running it?
Correct.
And is it the mind? Is it the body? You know, the body says, now I want to do this. The mind says, now I want to do that. But there's another part of us. And that is the part that, as you progress and progress, completely controls the body and the mind. Where, to your point, someone can sit for 7 hours completely having lost the body and the mind because they are merged into the consciousness of the person in front of them.
Right.
Um, what do yogis or what do you call that part of the person which then looks at the mind and says no? What is that called?
Yeah, yeah, that's where we come to the part where you said it is a soul. We can call it consciousness. It is the Atman, the supreme consciousness. You can name it different things like God or anything. So there is a part, as you
Right.
said, that, but I didn't want to come there right away because
Yeah.
you go into that, it's totally convoluted and people will feel that this is all something just pure talk.
Right.
And so most of the people who are suffering will ask this question: if God is there, then why am I suffering? Why didn't God
And the
listen?
and the answer is
The answer is that God is ever present, and God is the one who is not creating these problems. The problems are created by either by our own mind or our own body. So if we identify that, as we say that it is that the presence of our own mind and our body, that because of the body, the body has to undergo certain things, right? And the mind also is undergoing certain things, which we are not part of. I mean, which God is not a part of, which we understand that. And the whole journey, we can say, the whole spiritual journey is to understand why do you have a body? Why do you have a mind?
mm-hmm,
So why are you suffering? And the mind is the one that is labeling something as suffering.
mm-hmm,
The mind is the one that is labeling, saying something like something is pleasure.
right.
So, for example, somebody is sitting and smoking right next to you, and that guy is enjoying. But if you don't enjoy cigarettes and you don't like the smoke, and you're getting the secondary smoking effect of that person smoking, then the same object that is giving pleasure to him is causing sorrow to you.
Mm-hmm,
So what is the difference? It is an object, right? And one person is getting pleasure, another person is finding pain. So it is a mind that is labeling these things as pleasure, pain, sorrow, and joy, etc. So we have to, if we understand, we cannot blame God just because our mind is like this. And God is ever present. God is that is what Amma has shown to me, at least, from my own experience. And God is not a person who is sitting up in the clouds. You are a part of God.
Hmm.
You are God in one sense.
Hmm. Hmm.
Why? Because you feel that love,
Hmm.
and you can understand that love. Love, as Amma says, love. Amma says, Amma love. Her religion is love,
Yeah.
and God is nothing but love. And
Yes.
we all have that part within each one of us to love ourselves, to love others, to understand and that our life is to live in love, is to die in love,
Mhm.
and merge in that supreme love.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Beautifully said, Swamiji. I want to thank you so much for taking your time today, for guiding those of us who were listening to this around how can spirituality help us with our mental health. And I'm so grateful again. I'm sure we'll have you back on Heal Circle podcast. Until next time, thank you so much again for your
Thank you.
insight.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.